Hello and welcome to Do You Even Cook, Bro? Today we'll be doing Tortilla Española. To get this Spanish classic started, we're going to grab 4 eggs and crack them into a bowl. Pop the yolks with your whisk and then beat the eggs like they owe you money. Next, grab a large russet potato that you've peeled and slice it into even pieces. Although they don't have to be exactly the same size, even-sized pieces more or less will ensure even cooking. This means that you won't have pieces that are so overcooked that they're falling apart while some are perfect and many are just completely underdone. Now that all the prep's done, your next step is to put your oil into a preheated cast iron skillet or non-stick pan. Now add the potatoes and be careful of splattering. Season the potatoes liberally with salt, put the top on, and lower the heat. Over the next couple of minutes, you're going to want to take the top off and give the potatoes a stir pretty frequently. Your pan should be pretty crowded, so you want to stir them a lot to make sure that everything gets cooked. After about 15 minutes, everything should be done. It might take 20 minutes, it could take 12 minutes, I'm not sure. Time does vary. However, you're going to know when the potatoes are ready to take out because they're going to start to fall apart when you touch them with a spoon. I don't know if you can really see this here. As you touch them, bits will chip off. So obviously, since the potatoes are done, you want to take them out of the pan. And just try not to take too much of the oil with them, so kind of tip the spoon or utensil so that the oil drains out slightly. And I just wanted to show this to all the people that were freaking out about the amount of oil that I added in here. So I added about 2/3 of a cup, and as you can see, we're left with over 1/3 of a cup. So not that much oil. Now that I got that out of the way, just take your potato bits and add them to your beaten eggs. At this point, it would probably be traditional to add lard or more olive oil to the pan, but I actually decided to go with duck fat because I didn't have any lard and I didn't really feel like using butter or olive oil. So it doesn't really matter what you use for fat or oil here, but the idea is that you want the fat in the pan so that you get a nice brown crust on the tortilla. Also, just make sure that the fat or whatever you're using gets up the sides of the pan as well so that it doesn't stick. Now that the pan's greased up nicely, we're going to add in our potato and egg mixture. Immediately when the eggs and potato get in the pan, you're going to want to start to shake in a circular motion, just so everything's evenly distributed. And then kind of punch any excess bits down. We're done fiddling with the eggs now, and we're just going to let it sit and cook until the outside edges, like you can see here, start to solidify or set. At this point, I like to take a wooden spoon and go around the edge to make sure that there is no sticking and that the actual mixture is cooked well enough so that you can flip it without making a huge mess. And as you can see here, it has some nice resistance. It's ready to flip. So press the plate to the pan, pick it up, and turn it over pretty fast. Remove the pan, hopefully it'll turn out. Now you just slide the tortilla back into the pan, and that's really it. Mine didn't go perfectly like I had hoped, but it's still okay. So just wiggle it back into place, and you can use a spoon to push it in place. At this point, you're going to want to lower the heat again so that you don't overcook the egg and have a dry, nasty tortilla. This side will also likely take a lot less time than the first side. And I like to test for doneness using a spoon to poke around the edges and see how the tortilla moves. If it moves around in the pan when you pick it up and it's been like a minute or 2 minutes, then it's probably done. At this point then, just grab a clean plate, put it on top, and do the same kind of thing. Just turn it out, and your tortilla is all done. You want to let it rest for at least 5 to 7 minutes before you slice into it, so that time you can just clean your pan and some of your utensils. But after that, you can serve it warm, or you can even serve it room temperature, and sometimes even cold. In Spain, this will be served as a tapa sometimes a side dish to your dinner, and it can even be breakfast. And there you have it, the very versatile and always delicious Tortilla Española. Enjoy!